I actually had IVF in 4 different clinics, and Boston IVF was our final choice. A friend of mine had said to me, "You should really try Boston IVF. I'm a patient there. I love it. Don't give up on treatment until you go and talk to a doctor." When I researched who I wanted to see at Boston IVF, I looked at all the biographies online and saw which doctor met my personal experiences. And when we consulted with him, I really felt like he took into consideration our individual circumstances, and that all the decisions that were made in my treatment really had to do with us and not a cookie cutter plan of how to treat infertility. I really feel that there's this spirit about the people at Boston IVF and the Domar Center. They're so supportive and sincere and open and energizing that I looked forward to going to the appointments. When I met with my doctor, I told him about some of the things we had done in the past and a consultation that I had had at another clinic and what he thought of those ideas. And he really took the time to very clearly explain why he wouldn't do some of the other suggestions and why he was going to recommend what he thought would be best. And I knew that was what we needed to help us through this process. We had been going through the process for almost 8 years by then. And to have a doctor just stop and really listen and, take that time and that energy, it made me feel recognized. It made me feel like there was hope. I just felt like this is going to work. This is the doctor for us, and it's going to work. He sees us. Let me be to them what my friend was for me. Reassurance, support, giving them hope that there's another option out there, that from my experience, no matter what the outcome is, to go through the process with as much ease and support is a huge factor. The Domar Center Mind-Body program, my husband and I participated in one several years ago. At that point, I was actually ready to stop trying. And my husband said, "Please, let's just try this one thing." And that's actually what gave me the strength to keep going. Thank God, because I have these wonderful kids now. But it gave us a sense of peace and a support system. I've made great friends that I'm still in touch with, and we helped each other through our cycles and our fertility journey. And even when I was pregnant, I listened to Allie's meditation CD every morning before I got out of bed and every night before I went to sleep, and really practiced it and felt a sense of peace and calm in such a time that could have been filled with a lot of anxiety. Now as a mom, I have to say it was different than what I thought it was going to be. I think because I wanted it so badly, and I knew I was meant to have children, and I knew that I was going to be a good mom. And I think after going through fertility treatment and trying for so long, I have a different perspective. One is I try not to sweat the small stuff because I'm so thankful for what I have. But I have to say, I feel joy every day. It is pure joy. And You know, even when it's smelly diapers and no sleep, I do know my blessings, and I tell everybody that it's been this team effort, you know, to have my children. It was my friend who recommended me. It was all the miscarriages in the past. It was the care that I've had. It was the doctors and the nurses and the ultrasound technicians and the acupuncture and my OBs and now we have these little beings that are just the greatest gift that anybody could hope for. My son was my 6th IVF cycle. I have 2 kids, and I went through 6 IVF cycles. He was my 10th pregnancy. We tried 12 years before we had my daughter, and my son came 2 years later. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely. No questions about it. And I would really encourage people to have hope, but to also empower themselves. You know, become educated, ask questions. You know, don't be afraid to call the doctor back with a follow-up question, or the nurse. They'll get back to you. This is a great facility with amazing staff, and they understand. They understand that you're going to have questions and doubts and anxieties, and to just keep faith. Resolve of the Bay State is a chapter of the national organization, and Resolve is a nonprofit that we provide education, compassionate support, and advocacy help for those who are facing infertility, men and women. We have support groups, we have educational seminars, and we try to give information not only about medical treatments, but other family building options such as adoption, and giving comfort and support to those who choose to live child-free after their journey. We really want to get the word out to people that they're not alone. And we have a website, and we have a helpline, and there's lots of people who understand. And I'm very proud to be a part of Resolve of the Bay State.